As a child, Joan narrates how she was a victim of bullying, something that affected her performance at school.
I used to be a very small and tiny girl back then in primary school, and I was a victim of too much teasing and bullying. On so many occasions, I was bullied by both girls and boys, and I used to feel really bad, and it even made me perform really badly.
Her story, however, turned for the better in 2010, when she was transformed by a girl empowerment program. She says this inspired her to start the Girl Now Foundation to help girls like her.
And with that background, I understood that many of us girls need to, have that kind of realizing of what really we need to do in our lives, other than having to sit back and coil back, because when we do so, the world would not understand our potential, and yet there's a lot of huge untapped potential.
The Girl Now Foundation is a budding gender-based organization working with adolescent girls, set out to create a conducive environment where both male and female genders can coexist more efficiently.
How about they know that what a man can do, I can do? That is what Girl Now is looking at. We want to make sure that the girls can know their ability, know their fullest potential. If a man can be an engineer, I can be an engineer. If a man can be a carpenter, I can be a carpenter. We are trying to eliminate that stereotype.
It's not about being necessarily equal, but it's about understanding that we are different. The male and the females are different creatures who have different things that they're supposed to do. Our differences, please mark me right, do not mean that one gender is superior. But we have to all understand that we are different and work through those differences to achieve equity at the end of the day, and then equality will not be an issue.
As a gender activist, she believes that gender issues in Uganda ought to be addressed equitably as opposed to equally.
We do not keep the boys extremely out, because we understand that the boys must also join us in the fight for empowerment, for gender equality and gender equity, because at the end of the day we have to coexist in the society. But then when it comes to the girl child, we have all noticed and seen how much the girl child is left behind, and it all goes back to the socio-cultural system that we've grown in, whereby by culture we are taught that we are submissive. You actually find out that in many communities up to today, the girls only grow when they're not looking at them becoming CEOs, when they're not looking at becoming engineers, but they're actually being prepared for marriage.
Targeting 6 communities in Mukono and Luwero district, Joan and her team envision an empowered girl child with social skills that can enable her pave through the barriers that gender stereotypes bring. Wadulo Mark Arnold, UBC News.